Welcome to Level Up Mechanics. My name is Chris, and in today's video we're going to be talking about how to prevent thieves from stealing your catalytic converters on your vehicle. Now, some vehicles are more prone to being targeted than others. For example, on my 2008 Honda Civic, the catalytic converter is nicely tucked next to the engine inside the engine bay area and really isn't easily accessible. Now, given ample opportunity, I'm sure somebody would be able to eventually steal the catalytic converter on my Civic. However, there are other vehicles out there that have catalytic converters that are much easier to access, making them a higher target to be hit by. And that's where my third gen Toyota Tacoma comes in. The catalytic converters on my Tacoma are really easy to access. They are underneath the body of the vehicle towards the rear of the engine. And I really don't want to have my catalytic converter stolen because they are very expensive to replace, not to mention the fact that since catalytic converters are getting higher and higher in demand, the repairs could possibly take months as more and more catalytic converters are being placed on back order. So with that in mind, in order to protect the catalytic converters on my Toyota Tacoma, I'm going to show you how to install a catalytic converter shield to help protect your cats from thieves that are just looking for a quick payday. I did purchase a catalytic converter shield from GetCatSecurity. The main plate on this shield is 1/8 of an inch of solid aluminum, and it comes in either a polished aluminum finish or it can be powder coated black, as you see here in this video. Here are all the tools that I'm going to use to install the catalytic converter shield. Make sure to check the description below, as I'll have Amazon affiliate links for each of the tools that I've used in this video in case you need to pick something up for yourself. Clicking on the links below does help to support the growth of this channel and does not have any additional cost for you. So as always, I really appreciate the help I receive in order to make these videos happen. So here are all of the tools that I'll be using in order to install the catalytic converter shield. The first thing we're going to need is a hydraulic jack to lift the truck up. You'll also need 2 jack stands to help support the weight of your vehicle. These jack stands are both rated for 6 tons, which is more than plenty for a mid-sized truck. Once the vehicle is properly secured onto jack stands, next we have a drill with a step drill bit. We're going to be drilling 4 holes that are 7/16 in diameter, and I like to use a step drill bit because you can start off as a small hole. It's much easier to drill into metal as a small hole and gradually get bigger and bigger. So we're drilling 4 7/16 diameter holes into the Tacoma today, so that's why I'll be using a step drill bit. After we drill the holes, we are going to need to install rivet nuts. There's going to be one of 2 ways that you can install the rivet nuts. The first way you can install rivet nuts is with a rivet nut tool. And in order to install the rivet nuts, we're going to need to use this tool and an M8 mandrel bit. And this makes installing rivet nuts extremely easy. I highly recommend this tool if you want to quickly install rivet nuts. However, there is a second option, and the second option is actually included with the catalytic converter shield, and it's a DIY install kit for the rivet nuts. So with the rivet nut, you'll just use a long bolt, a washer, 2 nuts, another washer, and the actual rivet nut. You'll thread them all together, you'll put it in the hole that you drilled out, and then you'll hold on to the nut with a 17mm wrench, and you'll turn the bolt with a 13mm socket and a ratchet, or you can do a 13mm wrench. This will allow you to install the rivet nuts onto the frame of the vehicle without having to purchase this tool. So if you want to save some money, this DIY kit is included with the GetCatSecurity catalytic converter shield. This can save you money if you don't want to buy the rivet nut tool. Moving forward, I have my impact driver that I'll use with a 3/8 socket adapter. And then with the catalytic converter shield from GetCatSecurity, they do include a T40 Torx security bit with the hardware. However, I'm just going to use my security Torx bit, which is compatible with the impact driver. So all I need to do is install it into the impact driver like so, and I'm good to go. Next up, we're going to have a size 6 hex socket or Allen socket that I can use to also install onto the impact driver. And then as far as sockets are concerned, you're going to need a 12mm socket, a 13mm socket, and since I have a front skid plate on my Tacoma, I'm also going to need a 14mm socket and a 17mm socket in order to loosen the skid plate so that I can fully install the cat shield. You're also going to need a 3/8 inch ratchet, and then you can use regular wrenches or these ratcheting wrenches. You're going to need a 17mm wrench and a 13mm wrench. Now that we've gone over all of the tools that we're going to use today, let's go ahead and start the process of installing the catalytic converter shield onto the Tacoma. So the first step is going to be to install the side shields onto the main shield. In order to do this, we're going to use 8 out of the 12 bolts that are included with the hardware, and we're going to add thread locker to the bolts that we'll use to secure the side shields onto the main shield. After we have the cat shield assembled, the next thing we're going to need to do is to remove these frame braces. There's one brace right here and another brace over here on the other side. And what we'll need to do is remove the 12mm bolts. You'll have 2 in the back, 2 on the side, 2 in the back, and 2 on the side. We're gonna remove these bolts. We're gonna leave one hanging though on the sides of each frame brace, so that way we can just sort of rotate the brace away from us when we go to do our preliminary cat shield fitment. As you can see, I've removed 3 bolts, and the last one I loosened so then I could just rotate the brace out of the way. The next step is to loosely secure the cat shield onto the body, and in order to do this, we're going to rotate our braces back to the original position, and then we'll take the original brace bolts and loosely install them back into their original location. You'll also want to install a really long bolt that's included with the hardware into the center hole up front, and you're going to thread it through. There's 2 big holes in the frame. You're going to want to take your rectangular plate that's included and a non-locking washer like so, and we're going to loosely install this bolt as well. We're just loosely installing so we can get the catalytic converter shield in place, so that way we can drill some holes. We're going to have 2 holes on the side right here that we need to drill, and we have 2 holes back here that we're going to need to drill as well. Next, I'm going to take my drill with a step bit, so that way I can drill the holes, and then we can remove everything and install some rivet nuts. Now that the 4 holes are drilled out onto the frame, next thing we'll do is remove the cat shield and then install rivet nuts so that we can install bolts to finish securing the cat shield onto the vehicle. So in order to install these rivet nuts into the holes, first you want to make sure that everything fits smoothly in each hole. But what you want to do is either A, you can use the rivet nut installation tool that I showed earlier in the video, or you can do the DIY installation option, which is included with this kit. You'll want to thread the rivet nut onto the bolt like so, and what you'll do is you'll insert it into the hole. You'll hold the nuts with a 17mm wrench, and then you will twist or tighten the bolt to begin clamping down the riv nut onto the frame. This will allow you to install the riv nuts without the use of the tool, but it is a little trickier to do and is not as easy, so that's why I do recommend using that riv nut tool. But I want to show you how to install these riv nuts without it, in case that's something you want to do. Just loosen the bolt when you're done tightening. Again, don't over tighten or else you'll mess up the threads on the riv nut. But as you can see, the riv nut is in place. It's properly secured onto the frame, and now we can finish installing the rivet nuts for the rest of the locations. Now that the rivet nuts are all installed onto the frame, the next step will be to reinstall the catalytic converter shield. We just have to bolt everything up and we'll be good to go. That's going to do it for this video. Hopefully the catalytic converter shield will do its job and protect my cats from being stolen. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see future content, and smash that like button if you thought this video was useful. I appreciate your time, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.